Hello children, welcome to story time. Today we are going to listen to a story of a dove and an ant. One fine morning, Mr. Dove was sitting on the branch of a tree and Mr. Dove was all set to fly in the sky. It's a beautiful sunny morning and I want to give a fly. It's a beautiful sunny morning and I want to give a fly. A little bit of hop, a little bit of chirp, a little bit of hop, hop, little bit of chirp. Time for the blue sky and I'm off to set the flight. It's time for the blue sky and I'm off to set the flight. Save me! Save me! Is there anyone? Please save me! I'm drowning! I'm drowning! Can anyone hear me? Please save me! Please save me! Mr. Dove saw here and there and he searched that who was crying for help. And then Mr. Dove found out that it was an ant who was drowning into the river and was crying for help. All of a sudden, to save the life of Mr. Ant, Mr. Dove took a leaf from the tree and threw it into the water. Getting that leaf as a savior, Mr. Ant slowly crawled into it and thus the life of Mr. Ant was saved. And Mr. Ant slowly floating on that leaf reached the bank of the river and his life was saved. Mr. Ant then thanked Mr. Dove and said, "Thank you, my dear friend. I will never forget this. You saved my life. Once I find you in danger, I will come up to you. I will come and help you." So, from that day, Mr. Ant and Mr. Dove became very good friends. In this way, days passed, months passed, and time flew off. Time flew off. One fine morning, in that jungle, there came a hunter with his gun aimed at, do you know? The hunter aimed his gun at Mr. Dove. But Mr. Dove was not aware of that. Mr. Dove was sitting on the branch of the tree and Mr. Hunter was slowly coming to shot at Mr. Dove. But seeing this, Mr. Ant came there and Mr. Ant saw that the hunter was aiming at Mr. Dove. So, as a true friend, Mr. Ant came crawling and crawling to Mr. Hunter. And just at the moment when Mr. Hunter was about to pull off the trigger, Mr. Ant gave a tough bite at the foot of Mr. Hunter. And boom! All of a sudden, Mr. Hunter missed his shot. And this is how Mr. Ant saved the life of Mr. Dove. Mr. Dove now came close to Mr. Ant and said, "What happened? I heard a boom sound." Mr. Ant said, "Don't worry, my friend. It was a cunning hunter who was aiming at you. And I gave a tough bite on his foot." "Thank you, my dear friend." Mr. Ant said, "Nothing to be thanked for, Mr. Dove. Once you saved my life, today I got the chance and so I did the same." So children, what did we learn from this story? we learned a friend in need is a friend indeed. So, Mr. Dove and Mr. Ants were the true friends of each other. I hope you all liked this story. Thank you.
I hope you loved this real video by real educators. Please do subscribe to our channel.